Hey, this is Tim Derling, and this is Tim's Vinyl Confession, specifically an album in review released on this date in 1982. An album that would have been pretty anticipated, considering it was the solo debut from the lead singer of one of the biggest rock bands of all time, even back then. Talking about Robert Plant and his first album, Pictures at 11, with this curious album cover which looks Hypnosis, but it is not a Hypnosis album cover. This is the 2007 Rhino reissue, which is useful because it restores a track called Firepost. We'll get into that in a second. Of course, Rhino issues are generally quite well done, reproducing the original artwork. This album shows that Robert Plant was not interested in just continuing on with the Zeppelin sound. Having said that, when you listen to his solo catalog in its entirety, this is still the most Zeppelin sounding of all of his albums, particularly on the song Slow Dancer. That's a really, really Zeppelin sounding song. He's got a great band backing him up on this album. I mean, he's got Jez Woodruff on keyboards, Robbie Blunt, an unsung hero, on guitar, always just seems to play the right thing. Paul Martinez on bass and drums on the album. 6 out of 8 songs on this album are done by some guy named Phil Collins, who maybe you've heard of. And the other 2 tracks are done by Cozy Powell. Now, Led Zeppelin lore goes that if Led Zeppelin were to have continued after the death of John Bonham in 1980, Cozy Powell would have been the guy. Can't see how that would have lasted too long because Cozy was in so many bands, right? So this song is Burning Down One Side, opening track, and that was the most successful single. Wasn't a high charting single on the pop charts, did pretty well on the rock charts. It's got a couple of beautiful ballads. Moonlight and Samosa and Like I've Never Been Gone. Pledge Pin was another well-known song from this. And one of the tracks, I mentioned the track Far Post that was restored to this album. That was actually a B-side, and it got enough airplay in its own right that it charted on the mainstream rock chart. So, you know, people were looking forward to hearing this album. This album came out on Swan Song, which was Led Zeppelin's boutique label, and this was the only one of Robert Plant's albums that did. I think it's one of the very, very last Swan Song releases, along with, of course, Led Zeppelin, Coda, and I think the debut album from the band Wildlife. So there you go. A lot of great tracks on here. My opinion, not quite as good as the next album, The Principle of Moments, but a really good start to what has been a really prolific solo career. Don't forget to check out Martin Popoff's album-by-album guide on Robert Plant's solo stuff, which is actually called Pictures at 11. I'm in it, but it's still worth buying. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and thanks everyone for watching an album in review on Tim's Vinyl Confession. See you later.